All right, what's going on, man? I don't know if I should do a little intro or not. Screw it. Let's just go. um, what's up, man? To all the chingones and chingonas, dog. Cholo Trucker here, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Let me see. All right, there we go. Hey, so check it out, man. I've been out of the loop for a minute, dog. I've been doing other things. I've been out of the loop in the whole boxing world and everything, Holmes. Damn, I'm over here dropping some of this popcorn. Um, there's a lot that's been going on. I've just started catching up, right? I pretty much the whole weekend, dog. I did not check out anything of boxing at all. Um, I just started getting back up to date on what's been going on in the boxing world. Um, and pretty much just since this morning, man. And there's a lot, for those who don't know, I'm a big wrestling fan. So, like, my weekend was all taken up with WrestleMania and doing all that stuff, dog. But now I'm back, baby. I'm back, Holmes. I'm back to see what's up with boxing, dog. We're getting closer to the Tank and Ryan fight. What's up, JC? So, Spencer. So anyway, man, um, one of the stories that happened last week, right? There's a lot more going on, and we're gonna get into some of the stuff that's going on right now too. But one of the biggest heartbreakers for me personally, man, that happened last week was Virgil Ortiz and Montesteniones. That fight's off or postponed, I should say, and that kind of messes everything up now, man, because Virgil Ortiz, this is the second time that Virgil Ortiz goes through this. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, dog. It's like half of the alphabet just mixed up together. What it is that he's suffering with, man. And apparently, I'm not a doctor, homie. This is just what people keep on telling me, dog. That that is due to overtraining. Some people think that it could be from him trying to make 147. Hold on, let me lower the radio down a little. My old boxing channel, Cholo Boxing, dog, with the oldies playing in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not, but what's up, Vince? Hey, Cholo, what's happening, brother? Have you seen the undercard? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna get to that as well. But some people think that Virgil Ortiz just needs to move up to 154, and that's probably that could eliminate him having this issue. Because if he's to continue having this issue, Chingones, I'm gonna be real, Holmes. It's gonna hard to stay a fan of his. It really is, man. Even if it's a medical issue. Look, let me put it to you guys like this, man. When you're not active, when you're not being consistent, when you're not staying in the ring, it's hard to stay a fan of yours, even if it's through injury. It doesn't even really matter, man. Now, if you're not being busy in the ring, because of your own damn doing, whatever it may be, the Charlo brothers, that's something different, right? But ultimately, if you're not in the ring, man, it's hard to stay a fan of yours. Virgil Ortiz is my favorite fighter right now, man. And I got to tell you guys, man, I'm starting to fall off, Holmes. I still love the kid. I still want to watch him fight. But now, he was supposed to fight at the end of this month, and now that's being postponed. And now, who knows? Now this Mato might only fight one time this year. Yeah, but it's for a medical issue. Yeah, so be it, dog. But still, Holmes, as a fan, you're there trying to watch, you know, who you like to fight, who you like to watch fight and everything, man. And yeah, it could be a medical issue, homie, but if you're not going to be in the ring, dog, it's hard to stay on board. It is, man. Mikey Garcia. I was a big fan of Mikey Garcia, right? If you guys remember, he went on that huge hiatus, man, because he was having, the legal problems with the promotion and all. But I ended up falling off, dog. Yeah, when he came back to fight, I would go back and watch him fight, obviously, man. But I wasn't that big of a fan of his like that anymore, man. So is it sad that Virgil Ortiz has this issue? Yeah, it is, man. And I root for the kid, and I want the kid to get back into the ring, man. I really do. But damn, dog, it sucks that this happens, man, because yeah, he's probably gonna lose some fans. I myself already am starting to be like, damn, this sucks, dog. And it's just like, hey, man, boxing has to move on, man. It's a tough pill to swallow, man. It really is, dog. And already he had not fought this year, and we're waiting to the month of April, to the end of the month of April. So pretty much almost waiting 5 months. And now it's postponed some more. So do we see this guy fight this year? Yeah, I think we do. Do we see him fight 2 times this year? Man, I don't know. Probably not, man. If we're having this issue about him training too much, doing too much to his body, I don't know how you can try to put him in there 2 times this year, man. Or is the real issue that you need to go up to 154? Because if he goes up to 154, I'm telling you guys, dog, I think he stands a very damn good chance. A very good chance at 154 to becoming top dog. Thing is, we already know what's boxing, homie. Boxing is a straight novella, right? All the political obstacles you got to go through. I don't really know who's there for him at 154, man. I mean, Jermell Charlo is the one that got all the straps. He's over on the PBC. Does Virgil Ortiz ever get a chance at that? I doubt it. I doubt it. Something big is gonna have to happen, man. Let's see what you guys are saying. His fire is burning out to a low flame. And that sucks, man. It sucks because whenever this kid gets some traction where it's like, this is the next big thing. This kid is the next big thing. You got stuff like this that happens. And yeah, dog, it starts throwing water on the fire. It does. It starts throwing water on the fire, man. Every time this kid fights, every time he fights, it pumps me up like, yeah, hell yeah, dog. That's right, man. Because I like that kid. I like the way he carries himself and everything, right? I'm like, yeah, that's going to be the next big thing. And then this happens. It's unfortunate. But yeah, dog starts putting the fire back out, man. Is like, is every one of his fights going to be some sort of comeback fight because of this reason? I don't know, man. Let me see. Damn, I like Virgil too, but him getting again, not a good look. Not a good look, JC. Not a good look, man. Mikey never was what he was before the 2-year layoff. And that was the thing, Vince. That was the thing. Everybody, for whatever reason, medical issue, legal issue, or you're just taking time off, whatever it is, you start having your absence in the ring. It starts damaging your career, man. Even if it is through injury, it starts damaging your career. Vanessa Corona La Chingona, what's going on, girlfriend? So, is Virgil Ortiz still my favorite fighter? I don't know, man. I really want to see him fight, but now when we get to watch him fight, I don't know, dog. So that was kind of a bummer, man. I kind of wanted to jump on last week, but I had so much more going on because that news broke pretty much, I think, like the last day I went on, which was last Tuesday. And I was like, damn, dog. Difference between Virgil and Mikey is that Virgil stays in the gym without a fight coming up. Everything happens for a reason. Hey, Joaquin, and look, man, I'm not talking bad about the guy, man. I like the fact that he's a workhorse. I would much, much, much by a country mile have someone that I need to scale back and say, hey, calma, dog. Okay, calm down, man. You're doing too much, Holmes. Right? I'd much, much rather have somebody that I got to reel in, dog, and keep an eye on them to make sure they don't overdo it, as opposed to somebody where I got to be like, come on, man. Come on, get on it. Let's go, Holmes. Come on, man. Get in the gym. Hey, where you at, man? Okay, you're too late, dog. Like, come on, man. We're not going to get a full workout in today. I'd much rather somebody be there an hour early, already shadow boxing outside before the gym even opened. And me having to tell them, dog, chillax, relax. I'd much rather have that type of fighter than somebody that I got to be pushing out. Come on, let's go. Come on, man. We gotta do this. So I'm not talking bad about Virgil, man. It's just, hey, dog, if this is gonna be an issue, man, it's really gonna affect his career and really gonna affect him, growing a fan base. Man, where people are really gonna want to pay to watch him. So I hope he gets everything lined up, or I hope this is just something. I guess the best thing that it can be is he can't make 147 anymore. If that's it, I don't know that if that's what the case is. I don't know, Holmes. We're talking about something that I have no knowledge of, but I hope that I think that's the best case scenario. That it's just like, hey, you know what? He's doing too much to make 147 because that's an easy fix. You just go up to 154. He's already a big kid for 147 as it is. So, hopefully it's just that. And it's just, hey, you know what? Go up to 154. The only issue I see with that is I'm not really sure how many big fights there are for him up there, man. When you talk about the whole, promotional, political obstacles that one has to do to get certain fights, dog. That's the only issue I see with it. Yola Andres. Yeah, we don't know what's triggering. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I hope it's nothing. Hope it's nothing major, man. But hey, we'll see what happens with one Mr. Virgil Ortiz. I hope everything turns out all right, man. He seems like a real good kid. He's an easy kid to root for, man. He's not out there with a bunch of mamadas or anything like that, dog. And not only that, the kid could fight. The kid could fight, dog. So I was gonna say, hey, he could back it all up in the ring, but he doesn't even talk masa like that. So, he's one of those where it's just he lets the fist do the talking, dog. And I like that about that kid, man. Let me see. Next training camp, he might need to be monitored close by a dog. Could be, JC. Could be. And I'd see, just like Joaquin was saying, I'd much rather have that problem than a problem of me having to keep an eye on a fighter, because I need to keep pushing them to train. Like, I'd rather have a fighter, dog, that wants to overtrain than I got to keep an eye on him to scale back, dog. Much, much rather have that. Fundora fight this weekend. Going to be a good one to watch. Yeah, we'll get into all those on Friday, dog. There is more news in the boxing world, which is like, just, I don't know, dog, is mind-blowing. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard, there is somewhat of an undercard that's out there now for the Tank and Ryan fight. There's also news that Spence and Crawford is going to happen, or is it? Let's get to that just for a second, dog. Okay, let's go ahead and let's entertain this. All right, so right when I started hearing this, I'm like, okay, let me do all the research I possibly can, Holmes, to see if June 17th, Juneteenth, is going down between Spence and Crawford, homie, right? Because the whole thing was that it looked like Spence was gonna fight Keith Thurman at 154, which was completely, I don't know, that came out of left field, homie. Not the fact that that fight was going to happen, but that fight was going to happen at 154. But anyway, people get hit with this. It's like, oh man, so it is going to happen. Spence Crawford, man. A lot of people jumped on it. I did not see anywhere that this fight is made. Okay. I saw speculations. I saw rumors. I saw the date, June 17th, but I did not see that this fight is done. Now, it could be. It could be. I'm not telling you guys that the fight isn't made. I'm just telling you guys what I was able to find. So it could be. It could go down June 17th, Holmes. It really can. But just take this into consideration, okay? When they said, or, you know, pretty much, dog, it's YouTubers. I mean, I'll go ahead and call it out, dog. It's YouTubers that are coming out and saying that this fight is done. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. Strange, though, that there's no where it's taking place. There's no venue yet. That does not mean that this fight's not happening, okay? So I do not want to say yes or no. I'm just telling you guys, as far as I was able to find, as far as everything that I researched, nothing says that this fight is signed, sealed, delivered. So, so for everybody who's, you know, on this train about like, oh yeah, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. What venue? Where? Oh, they're gonna announce it at the Tank and Ryan fight. That's another big rumor, man. Maybe they do. Maybe it is true. I don't know, dog. What I do know is that there's nothing set in stone that solidifies that. There's a lot of little indicators here and there, but there's nothing there that stamped it, homie, and saying like, yeah, this is what it is. We all know boxing. Check this out, chingones and chingonas. I got a little something for you guys right here, man. We all know boxing. Okay, boxing is la mentirosa. You guys already know what I'm talking about, homes, right? Boxing is la mentirosa, homie. All right, we love her, but she's a straight mentirosa, homes, right? Sometimes she's telling the truth, sometimes she's not, dog. Straight out, that's what boxing is. Boxing is that hyena, dog.
Right now, you're just a liar, a straight mentirosa. Today you tell me something, y mañana otra cosa.
That's boxing, homes. Boxing la mentirosa, homie. But look, hey, Holmes, is it possible that this fight is set in stone, dog? And I just wasn't able to find anything on it. Usually the sources I try to go to and everything, man, all I really heard was YouTubers. That was it. All I really heard was YouTubers saying that this is a done deal. From where? I don't know, man. Yeah, now there are some credible sources that said that they are in talks, that they are very close to making this fight, targeting June 17th. That I will tell you guys. That's why I'm saying there are indicators that shows that it's a very good possibility that this does happen. But there's nowhere to be found that says it's official, it's signed, it's sealed, it's delivered. Here's the venue, here's the city, here's the date. That doesn't exist. So, you know, just throwing that out there, man. But there are some very credible sources that saying that they're in talks and that they're close and that they're targeting June 17th. So, you know, I'll just go ahead and tell it to you guys like that, man. So, it's you guys like that, huh? You guys like la mentirosa? Hey, that's boxing, Holmes. Boxing is the straight mentirosa, dog. This is boxing.
Right now, you're just a liar, a straight mentirosa. Today you tell me something, y mañana otra cosa.
And you guys know that. You guys know that. You guys know in boxing, boxing tells you something one day, y mañana otra cosa, homie. That's boxing. You guys know that already, man. We get word one day. We're all on here like, oh, yeah, dog is going down. It's happening. Y mañana, boom, dog, something different. Otra cosa, straight mentirosa. You know, so that's straight up boxing, dog. And I'm just like, hey, dog. That's why, homie, I didn't even really tap in with many of the YouTubers that were going on all day today about this, man. I tapped in to see what they had to say and everything, but I was just like, man, where you guys are? Oh man, let me see. You ain't but a skeezer. Oh man, yeah, dog, straight mentirosa. Yeah, dog. Oh man, Holmes. It's covering the eyes. I'm telling you guys, dog. That's boxing, Holmes. Straight out, man. But yeah, let's see. You know what? Hey man, look, hopefully it happens. I want it to happen. I want to watch the fight, but I gotta ask you guys something though. Okay. If this does take place, Crawford versus Spence, should it happen to take place, what fight do you think makes more money? Ryan and Tank or Crawford and Spence? That's kind of rough for me, dog. I think a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I would have said Crawford Spence. But I'm gonna be real, man. As far as popularity wise or just money wise, I'm not sure if anything's in the top. Ryan versus Tank. Um, just because the popularity of it. I know Canelo does very, very, very well. You know, even without a very popular dance partner. I mean, he's fighting John Ryder, and if everything goes right, he'll be fighting Bivol, who's still not that, popular of a fighter. But I don't really see Crawford and Spence bringing in more money than Ryan and Tank. Um, is it a better fight? Yeah, probably it is, man. I believe it will be, but I don't think it's gonna, overdo Ryan versus Tank, man. I think the only fight that can do that would have to involve Canelo. Maybe you throw in, Tyson Fury in there. We know he's not fighting Usyk. So I think if he fights somebody like Joshua or something, then definitely, absolutely, that fight overdoes it. But that fight's not gonna happen, man. Not at least not this year. But I think Tank versus Ryan, dog, is you got Haney versus Lomachenko to be the top dog, to be the one at 135, Holmes. That pay-per-view is going to be $60. Okay, $60. Now you got this fight, this catchweight fight that has no real champion in it, a rehydration clause. This fight with Tank and Ryan, that fight is going for 85 bolas, homie. $85. And for all the marbles, for it all, at 135, $60. And I could almost guarantee you, Tank versus Ryan outsells Haney Lomachenko. Even though Haney Lomachenko is for all the straps, even though Haney Lomachenko is $15 less to purchase for pay-per-view, $15 less, I still believe Tank versus Ryan outsells that pay-per-view, dog. And I'll go on a limb right now. If they do make the Crawford and Spence fight, I think Ryan and Tank outsells that. I'm not talking about what's a better fight. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, I think Tank and Ryan outsells it. Check this out, Holmes. I'm a trucker, dog. I go out to Vegas on the radio stations, the billboards. I mean, dog, you would think like this is like the magnitude of this fight, like everything's on the line, Holmes. When in reality, there ain't nothing on the line. The reputation that whatever that's worth. But you would think that this is like some huge mega fight, dog. Tyson versus Holyfield status. Now, of course, it lost a little bit of luster because Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. But you guys get what I'm trying to say here. It's like the feel around there is like, oh man, we got a mega fight coming, Holmes. Like, damn. Crazy, dog. Crazy. Hey, good for Ryan, good for Tank, man. But this pay-per-view is $85. Who's gonna purchase $85, man? As opposed to $60 for Loma and Haney. And I would like to see. I really hope the Crawford Spence fight gets made. I really hope they do. Okay. What price do they set for that pay-per-view? Do they compete with Ryan and Tank and put that sucker for $85? Or do they lower it down, even if it's just to $80? Do they match the Tank and Ryan price at 85 bolas, or do they take a little step down and say, nah, let's just go to $80? I don't think they sell it at $85, Holmes. I really don't, dog. I think they even go lower than that. I think they go $75. And I still believe that Tank and Ryan make sell more than those two fights right there. Let me see what you guys got here. Let me see. Shoot, I missed quite a few games, man. Spencer. Let me see. Ryan Tank. Did you hear about the 2-year ban for Amir Khan? I thought he was retired. He should be retired, man. I mean, once Kell Brook, he should be retired. So with the plant and pay-per-view numbers. So the pay-per-view numbers for when you take in the digital numbers as well, I think it did like a little over 200,000 buys. I know there's people talking about like, oh man, it did less than 100,000. No, when you take in all the digital stuff and everything like that, man, I mean, we live in a different era. So no, it did over 200 buys. Again, is that phenomenal? I mean, I guess for today it is, but hey, dog, Canelo brings in 300,000 buys, dog. That's a bad night for Canelo, so ain't no doubt can't anybody argue, dog, who's the face of boxing? It's Canelo. And he does that. He does those numbers with names like John Ryder. That's the crazy thing about it. It's not like he needs a very popular dance partner. Crawford Spence is turning into Mayweather Pacquiao real quick, past its due date. And the only thing with that, Joaquin, okay, I agree with you, Holmes. I agree with you. The only thing I'm going to add is that Crawford and Spence are nowhere near as popular as Mayweather and Pacquiao are. The fight itself, and both of them being welterweights, right? The Pacquiao, Mayweather, and the Crawford and Spence, both being welterweights. I know people like to match it up. But the popularity for Mayweather and Pacquiao was on a much higher scale, man. Crawford and Spence, yes, some people were comparing it, but if we're going to be honest, dog, neither one of those dudes bring in any type of numbers the way Pacquiao and Mayweather did. So this is going to affect their fight a heck of a lot more than it did Pacquiao Mayweather. Tank versus Ryan, for me, 1,000 ringside seats say it all. Yeah, it does. I was thinking, now I'll go to the fight. Cheapest tickets I saw were $800. Cheapest. I'm solid, dog. But not that popular. No, he's not. No, he's not. Out of the two, I think Spence is the most popular. And even that, Spence isn't like, completely over. He's not completely that popular. He doesn't match up anywhere near what Pacquiao and Mayweather were. Okay, it doesn't help. He been on the shelf. That's the thing too, dog. When was the last time Spence even fought? These dudes have not even fought, man. So go ahead, make this fight. I've told you guys, man, I'm fed up with this fight. The only reason why I'm bringing it up now, dog, is because everybody jumped on this train talking about that this fight is done. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. It's a done deal. No, it's not. No, it's not. I hope it does. I hope it does get signed, sealed, and delivered for June 17th. I'm rooting for it. I hope it does. But dog, I'm just here to tell you guys, man, all these fools jumping on the tube, homie, that's all this stuff about like, yeah, they just want to be the first ones to report it or whatever it may be, dog. I hope it turns out to be true though. Tank vs. Bryan is definitely event of the year, but not fight of the year. I agree. I don't think that's gonna be fight of the year. I don't think it's gonna be an all-out war, and nah, it's not. It's not, man. Not me. JC, you're not paying for it. All right. Look, if it's free, it's for me. I like that, man. I like that. If it's free, it's for me, Holmes. Okay, this is like Hagler versus Leonard Buzz type. Hey, man, the Buzz, make no doubt about it. The Ryan and Tank, and I'm going to be in Nevada with Bobby Garcia. We're trying to plan something out. We might be broadcasting there right here for Los Tres Chingones. We might be broadcasting there in Nevada. I'll tell you guys what we're doing. We rented a nice little mansion outside of the Strip, and we're having a nice big party, man, for the fight. As a matter of fact, the after party for Ryan Garcia is gonna go there to that house. So hey, man, it's gonna be a good time. So hopefully I could do like some sort of pre-show. If we could get all the equipment right, and if the service is good enough, I will definitely do a pre-show there live from Nevada, outside of the Strip. We're not gonna be on the Strip. Outside of the Strip, man, we got a nice little mansion, dog. Is badass. I mean, everybody put in. We got it, dog. It's badass, dog. It's badass. And that's where the after party is going to take place for Ryan Garcia. If he loses, I'm not really sure how many. I'm not really sure if, his camp's really going to be in the mood to party, Holmes. Let me see. The good thing about Spence vs. Crawford is that it's for Undisputed. That might add some buzz. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the buzz about it. Spence hasn't fought, man. Even Crawford is going on quite a while, without stepping in the ring. So, I'm just like, I don't know, dog. I'm not really. I think this fight itself is losing its, luster to it, man. Let's say in 2 weeks or at the end of this week, they say, okay, it's done. It's official. It's a done deal. Yeah, I think people are going to be happy, but I don't think everybody's going to be, head over heels super excited for it like that anymore. And I don't think it does the numbers that Tank and Ryan's going to do, because for that fight, I hear everybody talking masa about that fight. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but I hear a lot of people talking masa about that fight. But the buzz is there. The buzz is there. It's definitely there, man. So, there's that, man. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the fights over the weekend. I heard Anthony Joshua won. I heard there was nothing really to watch. For from what I understand, he said he still wants about 2 more fights before he really steps up his game. Do you guys think Joshua's done, Holmes? Do you think he can still make it back up to the top? Because I don't know, dog. I think he's too muscular. He came in very heavy into this fight, which again, I didn't even get a chance to watch the fight, dog. I was busy all weekend long. But from I'm hearing from everybody is that yeah, he won the fight, no doubt about it. He won the fight, but it's not like he looked great, like he dominated in any way, shape, or form. Like if he was just like he looked like he was on fire or anything. I when it comes to AJ, dog, unless he fight Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury, I don't know, dog. I'm to me, Joshua, I'm kind of over the dude, man. Now he may be fighting Spencer. He may be fighting shoot, I forgot the rumor. I don't know if it was Dillian White or what. Now he, like he said, like AJ said, you know, he's got a new trainer. He's still trying to break it in with them. He does not want to shoot straight for the top. He wants, you know, another fight or 2. Let me see. Joshua gets knocked out by Fury if they fight. I believe it. Do you think Joshua gets knocked out against Deontay Wilder? Now that's a question, dog, because out of all of them, of all those heavyweights, the fight that I really would like to watch is Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. Even if those for no straps at all, man, that's the fight I do want to watch. Hey, what's up, Black and Brown? What's going on, homie? Hope everything's good for you up there in Saco, dog. AJ fights like he's scared of being knocked out. Hey, Vince, and see that could be the thing though, right there though, too, dog. Okay, that could be the thing with AJ, with Anthony Joshua. If he's gonna be fighting like he's scared now, you know, that's it, dog. Now he lost. Because while he can cash in on some of these victories with the lower tier dudes, he can't step up to those big names, dog, and be fighting like that. And you're right, man. You're not the only one to say that. I think a lot of people see that in Anthony Joshua. That he looks like he doesn't want. I mean, nobody wants to get knocked out, but he fights with fear. He fights like he's scared. Of course, nobody wants to go into a fight and get knocked out, but like that's always on his mind. And you can't go fight like that, dog. Yeah, you could fight some competition to a certain level. Okay, once that level gets somewhere, you can't be going in the ring like that. You can't. You know, that's why. Do I want to see this Anthony Joshua fight Tyson Fury? Nah, not really. I mean, don't get me wrong. They make that fight. Of course, I'm tuning in. No doubt about it. But see, I wanted an Anthony Joshua from before to fight Tyson Fury because I truly believe that was closer to a 50-50 fight. Today, now, the Anthony Joshua that I see now, nah, dog, I don't think it's a 50-50 fight, man. Now, again, he's breaking in with his new trainer, so he wants another fight or 2 to see, how all that's going to work out for him in the future. Tyson Fury, man, again, dog, hate the guy, love the guy, whatever it is, man. This Anthony Joshua just does not match up. Just doesn't match up. As a matter of fact, if I'm one of these up-and-comers, heavyweights, like the real big baby, I'd be wanting Anthony Joshua right now. I think right now he's beatable. I'd be calling out for him right now. I'm like, hey, look, man, he looks like his soul's broken. I want him now. before he regains his confidence. Let's see. I'd pull for Wilder, but that's a true 50-50 fight. Depends which one is more mentally prepared. Be a fun fight, I think. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun fight. And I don't know, man. Joshua coming in the biggest he's ever come in, heaviest, I should say, in this fight. Does that say anything to you guys? Does that mean anything to you? We know, dog, that his muscles don't help him out. He's too muscular. Like, get a little bit more lean. I think it's a mental thing for AJ. We've seen it before. Remember, Chuck Obama could make throw from second base to first. Head games is a mother. If Vince, you're preaching, dog. If your head's not in it, dog, you could be in the best shape of your life. You can have all the best training, best trainer, whatever it may be, dog. If your head is not in the game, which boxing ain't no game, dog. You don't play boxing, Holmes. Then, just like I was saying earlier, dog, he can go in there and get a couple of good victories, dog. But once that competition steps up, dog, that's where it ends for him. So I'm telling you guys, man, if I'm Richard Torres Jr., I'm saying I want Joshua right now. Because I see a struggling soul. I see somebody who's struggling mentally, but ain't nobody care about that. Because if I go in there and I put hands on the Vato, dog, and I win, guess what? I got the name Anthony Joshua under my belt. The real big baby, that's another one. He got 13 fights? 13 or 14 fights? Now's the time, dog. Now's it. Go after Joshua now. Do not let this guy regain his confidence, man. You go make a big name for yourself. The only problem with that is if you do beat Joshua, then everyone's going to expect big fights from you afterwards, man. And that's probably where you're not ready. Let's see. Hey, what's up, P-Town? Anderson would knock Joshua out right now. Ever since he got that chin check by Ruiz, he never been the same. You know, Richard Torres Jr., that's one thing. First of all, man, Antonio Morales, that kid needs a lot of work. That kid needs a lot of work. If I'm Antonio Morales or I'm in his camp, do not call out Joshua right now, Holmes. You need a lot of work. Okay. Richard Torres Jr., I think you put him in there with Anthony Joshua right now. I'll give Richard Torres Jr. a good chance. I'm not saying I pick him, but the real big baby Anderson, yeah, I do think he beats Joshua right now. I'm not talking about next week or next month or 2-3 months from now. I'm talking about right now. The Anthony Joshua that there is right now. Yeah, I do think big baby Anderson beats him. And like I said, I think he's at like 14-5. I'd be calling him out right now, dog. Hey, let's do this. Let's make this happen. Because in my mind, I'd be saying like you're beatable. Right now, you're beatable, Holmes. But then what does he do afterwards, you know? Let's see. We want to see Benavides and Canelo. Go at it, carnal. I've talked about that before, man. That ain't gonna happen, man. That ain't gonna happen unless Canelo fights in December, which I don't know if he's going to or not. I think that fight does happen next Cinco de Mayo weekend. Canelo already has his plans, man. And if everything goes according to his plans, then that's that, man. And it's nothing. I don't. It's nothing major. It's nothing major, Holmes. It's not like Benavidez. Oh, he's gonna get way too old. Benavidez is what, 26? Yeah, dog. It's nothing that major where it's like, oh, these guys need to fight now, because if they don't fight now they're gonna be way past their prime. Nah, Charlie, dog. Canelo's what, 32? Yeah, so they fight next Cinco de Mayo weekend. Crawford and Spence. I mean, Crawford's, I think, 35 years old. See, that's something different. That one time is of the essence. And if you ask me, they're already past their, somewhat their prime. Spence is still, I think Spence is 33, somewhere around there. Let me see. Morales gonna have to move like Munguia, slowly, very slowly. Very slowly, Holmes. Okay. His last fight, he looked terrible. He looked terrible. He looked slow. His punches had no snap. He got dropped. He was all drunk. He was on spaghetti legs. He looked awful, man. I'm like, the hell is this? I was actually pretty big on Morales. I'm like, what the hell is this, Holmes? Because you look bad. Did you go out partying last night or something, dog? You look terrible, man. Let's see, that big Cuban Canelo stablemate. Oh, what's his name? Frankie Sanchez. That's somebody else. Yeah. Do you think Canelo retires if he loses to Bivol again? Oh. I don't think so. I don't think he does, man. I think he still has hunger in him. These losses are at 175, so not to say that Canelo's looking for an excuse, but there's reason to it. For him to say like, hey man, I mean, I'm challenging myself to do something. I'm reaching high and coming up short. So I don't think he retires. I still think he still has fire in the belly. The only thing is accomplishments. See, that's the thing, man. So there's a difference between accomplishments and great fights. We all want to see the Canelo versus Benavidez fight, but there's not really an accomplishment there because Benavidez doesn't have a strap, right? So Canelo already accomplished everything he needed to accomplish at 168. So now he's looking to go up to 175 and accomplish there. And I think that's where he kind of needs to open his eyes a little bit, Holmes, and weigh things out, right? Because accomplishments could be just getting nothing but belts, right? You're accomplishing a lot by doing it. Especially in the 4-belt era where it's like, oh, I unified, man. Like, orale, dog, that means a lot. And in some ways it kind of does, but in reality, does that mean that you fought all the fighters that people really want to see you fight? That people truly believe? No, okay, yeah, that may be a champion. Caleb Plant was a champion, but did anybody ever, look at Caleb Plant like he was some elite fighter? No, but it is an accomplishment because he was a champion. He was a world champion. So what would be the fight for Canelo and Benavidez for to defend his title? But it's the accomplishment for him is to get more gold, to get more straps. And if he could do that at 175, Holmes, that's, there you go. Canelo has no business at light heavyweight. He's too small for that weight. I agree. I think the success that he had against Crusher Kovalev is what made him think that, okay, I could compete there. But Crusher Kovalev was going through a lot of problems. He was going through a lot of issues. I'm not going to say he was washed up because, believe it or not, Kovalev still had a good career, man, and some good victories after that fight, right? But he was not at the top of his game either. So, to be fair, Holmes, it's not like Kovalev was at the top of his game when he fought Canelo, but he wasn't like super washed up the way people make it seem to be, Holmes. He was still, he still had a pretty good career, man, after that, man. Let's see. Let's get Joaquin up in here. What's up, homie?
Hey, what's up, Holmes? How you been?
Good, dog. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's been a little bit crazy. I had my truck stolen about 2 weeks ago, so looking for another pickup.
Nah.
Yeah, for real.
Where from? In front of your pad, or where'd they steal it from?
It was actually on my Rucas pad, and then they took off, and then we found the truck. And so we figured out we'll do the right thing, call the Huda or whatever, and
yeah,
they got the passenger, and then they let him go because he said he didn't know the truck was stolen. But I already know who took it. So.
Oh man, that's damn, that sucks, dog. That's crazy, man. Damn, man. Was that your work truck every day?
It was my commuter. It was my commuter. I don't have the truck. I only had the pickup for like 3 months.
Ah, damn.
Yeah.
Damn,
So,
that's gotcha, man.
It's just the truck. We just get another one, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Well, what's your thoughts, homie, on all the stuff that's going around in boxing right now?
Man, I don't know. I was kind of like, even when I saw that headline this afternoon, I was actually instructing a defensive driving class at work, and I saw the headline came up on my phone about a Spencer Crawford, and I was like, I have to see them in the ring singing the national anthem and all that before I actually believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, because look, there's nothing out yet on who's gonna be who has the rights to the fight. That's why when I saw it, I'm like, okay, cool. But this came just kind of out of nowhere, man. So when I looked all into it, it's like, well, okay, dog, who has the rights to the fight, man? Where is the fight taking place? And there's all these sources saying like, okay, they're in talks, they're in negotiations, and they're looking for June 17th. But nothing says that it's set, though. So that's why I was just like, yeah, you know what, man? I ain't falling for this. So hopefully it does happen, man. And, if that fight, but when was the last time Spence was even in the ring?
Shit, man. Well, I mean, it's been a long time. Well, that's the thing. Both of them are wanting like $50 million. It's like, man, you guys ain't going to get $50 million a piece or whatever you're trying to get. They're fighting about who gets called to the ring first, who gets announced first. I mean, all that stuff is, like I said, it's like I've always said, you already know me. Like, man, just somebody say, you know what, I just want to fight the best. I could be called last, come to the ring last, whatever. But let's get it on and see who's the best.
Yeah, you know what? None of these guys have that popularity, man. I think the fight has a good popularity, but just these guys on their own, they don't have that type of popularity. I think Spence has more popularity than Crawford, but either way, man, they're not Canelo. I mean, Canelo, he sold out with John Ryder, and that's that's he's on another level, man. These guys don't have that to be, trying to bounce the ball around, saying like, nah, here, I'll pass it back to you, man. Come back to me with something much, much better. You're not that big of a superstar, man. This can be a super fight, but not because you alone are a superstar, man, but because everybody believes, hey, man, this is a 50-50 fight. But outside of that, these guys, neither one of them were Pacquiao or Mayweather were.
No, and I just compared it to Pacquiao Mayweather because that was one of those fights that always comes to mind. That was way past, like 5 years past when it should have happened. But it's kind of like, they should already be on their trilogy by now. This should be the third fight coming up, but for as long as they made everybody wait. That's why I like guys like Benavidez, just because Benavidez kind of like an old school type fighter. He's just like, I just want to fight whoever. He didn't have maybe he had no names on his resume, but it wasn't because he wasn't trying to fight people.
That was the thing, man. That's the thing that I've always said about Benavidez. The thing about him is that at least he stays busy. Mm-hmm. At least he stays busy. Who does he fight? Sometimes a lot of people don't even really know. But as long as just keep busy in the ring, man. And I do believe he does want the big fights. I truly believe that, man. It's just it's kind of hard for him to get them. Now, him beating Caleb Plant, there was rumors about him possibly getting David Morrell, who's going to be in the undercard of the Ryan and Tank fight. I don't know. Maybe sometime later this year, maybe he does get that fight. I'd like to see him get in there against Boo Boo Andre. Now that Boo Boo Andre is on the PBC side, now they're on the same side, man. Have them get down, dog. I do believe that Benavidez does want all these fights, man. But one thing I could say about him is that he stays busy. And that's what I just keep on saying. Just stay busy. You can't get the fights you want? Fine. Fight somebody else. Fight a tomato can. Fight whoever. But just keep busy, man. Don't just sit on your hands saying like, well, I'm waiting for this one fighter. I'm waiting.
Well, because, for fighters, the more you fight, the more you stay relevant. You stay fresh in the fans' minds. And then it's always, inactivities. That's a killer for a boxer's career. I know about that. But, just hopefully David, he gets back in there soon. That like I said, I mean, if he fights Boo Boo, I think it'll be kind of like, I don't know.
Well, what it will do, it'll eliminate Boo Boo Andre out of the picture.
Yeah,
that's something that you could add to your resume. Is it really that big? Probably not, but I mean, it's an undefeated fighter. Boo Boo Andre, some people are pretty high on him. I don't really get it. That dude, I don't think he's really all that.
I'll tell you about Boo Boo because I've been seeing him since way back in the day, and even Austin Trout, because I've been in Austin Trout's camp a few times. We've sparred multiple times, and he said like Andre was a tough opponent, like in the amateurs, because he fights like that amateur style, right? Mm-hmm. I think Boo Boo, he's high risk and low reward just because of his style. He's gonna do the little and run around, boom, boom, and then run around. It's kind of hard to catch a guy like that.
Yeah, definitely. High risk, low reward, man. Because he could beat you on points. That he can beat you on. Pete Town, we're definitely gonna get into that on Friday, man. Because we got a lot of boxing coming up this weekend. But I kind of took last week off, man, because I was doing a lot more things. Larry says he'd be surprised if the Crawford and Spence breaks over 220,000 buys. I think it probably does somewhere around right there, man. I think it gets somewhere around, but piracy's up too, man. So both Bud and Spence aren't household names like Canelo or Tyson Fury. That you're right about that. I mean, definitely right about that. But they're acting like it. I think the fight is popular, but those two guys themselves are not that popular. Andre is terrible. He's gonna get beat up badly by Benavidez, in my opinion. He got dropped by Berlanga's leftovers. Oh, yeah. Desmond Nicholson, yeah. He was good some years ago, but he ain't beating Benavidez. I don't think he is either. As a matter of fact, Boo Boo Andre was on the Olympic team with my homeboy back in 2008, man. My boy Sean Estrada was in an Olympic team with him. But my homie, man, he had 12 professional fights, and then what's the biggest killer to a boxer's career, Joaquin?
Women.
And then he settled down, Holmes. He was on an undefeated. He was like 11-0, 12-0, and then, homie, he just settled down, dog. And that was it. And the relationship didn't work out. And then he's all like, man, I'm trying to think about getting back into boxing. But by that time, he was already like in his early 30s, man. And that was.
And I didn't even know that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
I didn't know he just disappeared.
Yeah, no, man. It's women, man.
Yeah, because the one I was big on in those days, because I was already a professional at that point, but the one I was really keeping an eye on was Frankie Gomez from East LA.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a beast, man. Well, he
Yeah,
was a
yeah. What was it? Pitbull, right?
yeah.
Yeah, man. And I think he went 21. Trying to think of his record. Was it 21-0 or something like that?
Yeah.
He was good, man. Yeah. I mean, damn, dog. Oh man, what's your just to finish up, man? What's your thoughts on Virgil Ortiz, dog? Does this kid have an issue? Does this kid have a long career? What goes on with Virgil
Well,
Ortiz?
it's kind of like saying that, how we agreed is we both agree as far as like it's better to have a fighter that you gotta like kick him out of the gym almost.
Right.
But at the same time too, where it can be a detriment is you can leave the fight in the gym. By the time you get to the big fights, all your best performances have been in sparring. But the weight cut too. I mean, the weight cut, people don't realize how much of a weight cut. The reason why I'm saying is because like I started my career at 154, and I went down to 47, and all I cared about was making weight. It killed me. It drained me. It took everything. Like, man, it even took my power away. Everything. Like Virgil Ortiz, maybe it's time to move up. I mean, he's a big kid. He's already a big welterweight. Maybe it's time to move up in weight and maybe feel better. I mean, you're better off feeling better in the ring than just killing yourself, just so you can be the bigger fighter in the ring.
So instead of hey Vince, I agree, man. Once I think once Keith Thurman had the fight with Pacquiao, he got married, and that was kind of it for Keith Thurman, man. But hey Vince, so what you're saying, dog, is that instead of you focusing on training and your skills and brushing up on your skills and everything, it was just cutting weight for you.
Who's that? To me?
Yeah, I mean, is that what it can turn into when you're just trying to cut weight? It's like, man, I'm not even focusing on my skills too much, man. I'm just more focusing on cutting weight.
Well, and it could be a little bit of an arrogance for a fighter. I could, as far as just speaking from experience, I could say, well, I'm not worried about whoever I fight. I just want to make this weight because I don't want to miss weight. I mean, the last time I made 147, the morning of the weigh-in, I ran with the plastic suit on, my skin just got like a little bit damp, and that was it. I couldn't even break a sweat. Damn. And then like swung with those small gloves, man. Like I was hurting because you're more prone to injury when you're sucked in dry like that.
Right.
So it's just like I say, you just worry about making the weight, and then man, it's just and then like at the time I was working a full-time job too, so and I had a family. So it was just, that's one thing about fighting, though. It'll show you who you are. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Hey, man, in your opinion, dog, should weigh-ins be the day of the fight?
But that's still gonna happen, though. People are still gonna, like, you see the MMA guys, they're cutting 20 pounds the day before the weigh-in. So then what happens to them? They're still gonna cut, 10 to 15 pounds of water weight the day of the weigh-in. Me personally, same day weigh-ins will probably get more of an actual weight class type fight. Like you'll get guys actually weighing 147 to fight a welterweight fight. Because now, I mean, you have guys that are weighing at 147 on the day of the weigh-in, and they're jumping in the ring, and they're already in the 155, 160. What I mean?
Yeah.
That's typically what you're seeing.
Yeah. And speaking on weights, man, the Ryan rehydration clause and making 136. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it has a big effect on him?
That's on him. He's actually the name person. He's actually has the bigger name between the two. Yes. Like on a world scale.
Right.
So whenever he saw the contract or his manager saw the contract and they agreed to that hydration clause, that's on them from here, from the time they signed on the dotted line. That's on them. But it's almost like a ready-made excuse to me. To me, it is. Because, I mean, as a real fighter, like, man, I don't care how big you are. Shit, we're going to get in there. I mean, I wouldn't have gave nobody a hydration clause anyway if I was at that level. Of course, I was never at that level. But, even if I was, I mean, just as a fighter, I don't think I would have been asking for the rehydration clauses in the first place. Because a lot of times it's going to be about the skills. Look at Usyk and Joshua. Look at the size difference between those guys.
Do you think it hurts Ryan having the rehydration clause, maybe not making 136, maybe it does hurt him, but the rehydration clause saying like, okay, you drained yourself to make this weight, now you're free to go back and rehydrate, but not this time. Now you're limited on how much you can rehydrate. Do you think that could fight him later on in the fight? Should the fight go past 5, 6 rounds? Once you enter, 7, 8, 9 rounds,
it's gonna hurt Ryan more because Tank actually he kind of fights like Benavides in a way, where he starts off slow and then he picks it up in the later rounds. So it's gonna hurt Ryan in that aspect. That's my opinion. And then Tank, the Duke. We already know he has punching power in the late rounds too.
Yeah, and maybe having the rehydration clause, man. Not to say that Tank could take one of Tank's power punches, but the rehydration can probably weaken him a little bit more, where he's not going to be. Maybe he would be able to take the punch a little bit better. Not that it wasn't going to do any damage to him, because it was, but he'd probably be take the punch a little bit better, and maybe not this time around, man. So yeah, man. Anthony Bravo, yeah, dog. We're last week with Kenny Bayless. I didn't know the dude was in the 70s. I don't think anybody in their 70s should be refereeing a fight, dog. That's just you're in there with world-class athletes, man. Why do we got dudes in their 70s and they're doing that? But about Rayo robbery and shaking my head, we need new judges for sure. I saw somebody drop copy box and it showed that Rayo landed way more of his punches. But oh well, dog. Chris Colbert, like I said, I think this is actually gonna help Rayo going forward. It's kind of like consolation prize. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise. Because had he beat Colbert, yeah, people would have been like, okay, cool, he beat Colbert. But since everybody's talking about that he got robbed, I think he's gonna get a whole new fan base, man, and people are really gonna watch his next fight, which is what you want. So
mark my words, Colbert, he's not going to be the same in the fights moving forward. Mark my words, because the body can only take so much, and every time I got hit with the hard shot, he was wobbled. Maybe his legs weren't, he wasn't stepping in potholes or nothing, but you could see that the punches are really affecting him.
Who has a better career going forward, Colbert or Rayo?
Rayo, if he gets it, if he's okay in the head.
Okay.
It's a lot of the sport. People don't realize a lot of the sport is 90% mental and 10% physical.
Is that true, man? I hear a lot of people say that, dog, but I think you really need to train your ass off too. I get what you're saying, though. The mentally, you need to push yourself physically to do what you got to do, man. So, yeah, man, I'm a fan of Rayo, so I hope he gets it back, man. But hey, Joaquin, anything else, big dog, before we call it?
No, that's it, man. Just thanks for having me on. Saludos to all the Tres Chingones panel out there. And I always enjoy talking to you guys, talking boxing. My love.
Of course. Got to, man. Got to. All right, Joaquin, man. Buenas noches, man. Shouts to you out there, man, in Albuquerque, big dog.
All right, man. You guys, cuidado.
All right, pues. All right, man. That's Joaquin out there in New Mexico. And I'm going to call it right there. I just had some time on my hands, and I've been away from this channel for a minute, with the exception of showing the statue of De La Hoya. But no, we're going to be back on the schedule. I'll be back this Friday with the panel, should everybody be able to make it. Either way, I'll be back. We got a lot of fights coming up this weekend, man. Bam Rodriguez, Sebastian Fundora. Got a lot of fights, man. And I do want to get to the undercard that was announced for Tank versus Ryan. And we are planning something for that fight as well. Hopefully, we can do a pre-show here for the Tank versus Ryan. I'll let you guys know as we get closer and closer, because I will be out in Nevada for that fight, man. But with that, hey, man, gracias for everybody who tapped in. It's this ain't work, homie. This is always a pleasure. It's always fun just to come on and talk boxing, Holmes. It's just like, damn, dog. And what did we learn? I should have done this while Joaquin was on here, man. What did we learn? Who is boxing? Boxing is la mentirosa, Holmes. All right. Always remember that boxing is.
Right now you're just a liar, a straight mentirosa. Today you tell me something y mañana otra cosa.
That's boxing, Holmes. Today you tell me something y mañana otra cosa. Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. I'll catch you guys on next round.